Cricket is a batsman's game. Some batsmen paint beautiful pictures with their strokes and score runs. Some make runs with patience and grit. Some just destroy the bowling attacks with an onslaught. In this video, we are going to look at the best 10 batsmen that cricket has ever produced in the history. But before we begin, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can get updates on all our upcoming videos. With that, let's jump into the video. At number 10, we have Gary Sobers. Gary Sobers is arguably the greatest all-rounder of all time. Bradman once called him a 5-in-1 cricketer because Sobers excelled in all cricketing skills with wicket-keeping as the only exception. He broke the record of the highest individual score against Pakistan in 1958 by scoring 365 runs, a record which stood for 36 years. It's still the fourth highest individual score in Tests. His average of 57.78 is the best among players who has made 8,000 plus runs. The Southpaw is the first batsman to hit 6 sixes in an over in first-class cricket. He started his career as a bowler, which makes these batting records all the more impressive. At number 9, we have Kumar Sangakkara. These are Kumar Sangakkara's last 5 innings in ODI career: 105, 117, 104, 124 and 45, which shows that he stopped playing when he was at his peak. He is the only player to hit 4 consecutive centuries in ODIs and did it in a World Cup. He is the second highest run getter in ODIs and 6th highest run getter in Tests. His Test average of 57.40 is the highest among batsmen who made 10,000 plus runs. Big players perform on big stages, and Sangakkara did exactly that in the 2014-2020 World Cup final. He was struggling throughout the tournament but scored a match-winning 52 against India to clinch the T20 World Cup. At number 8, we have Jack Kallis. Jack Kallis amassed 10,000 plus runs in both Tests and ODIs and is the 3rd highest run getter in Tests and 7th highest run getter in ODIs. He is known as the greatest all-rounder of the modern era, picking up 250 plus wickets in both formats. The South African has scored 45 centuries in Tests, second most by any batsman, just behind Sachin Tendulkar. Also, Kallis holds the record of the most Man of the Match awards in Tests with 23 Man of the Match awards. Kallis scored 5 centuries in 5 consecutive Tests in the 2003-2004 season, second only to Bradman, who scored 6 centuries in consecutive matches, and the right-hander ended his Test career on a high note by scoring 115 in his last match. At number 7, we have Jack Hobbs. When Jack Hobbs hung up his boots, he was the highest run getter in Tests with 1,998 runs ahead of the then second placed Clem Hill, and Hobbs made those runs at an excellent average of 56.94. His average as an opener is 56.73, which is the 3rd best of all time with at least 4,000 plus runs. He also is the oldest player to score a century, posting 142 against Australia in Melbourne in 1929 when he was 46 years and 82 days old. The former England opener is the only player to score 60,000 plus runs in first-class cricket. He also hit 199 centuries in first-class cricket, 29 ahead of the second-placed Patsy Hendren. At number 6, we have Hammond. To average 50 in Tests is considered excellent, and Hammond averaged 58.46. But he had to stay satisfied as the second best since he played in the era of Bradman, who averaged an unbelievable 99.94. Hammond's average in Tests is the best among batsmen who made 7,000 plus runs. He holds the record of the fastest player to score 7,000 runs in terms of innings played. He also was the first player to cross the 7,000 run mark and was the highest run getter when he retired. The English middle order batsman was the first player to aggregate 900 plus runs in a series when he made 905 runs against Australia at an average of 113.12 in the Ashes in 1928. He also amassed 50,550 runs in first class cricket, which is the third best of all time, including 167 centuries. At number 5, we have Vivian Richards. Viv Richards was way ahead of his contemporaries. He had a strike rate of 90.2 in ODIs in the 1970s and 1980s when most batsmen scored at a rate of 60 to 70. The swashbuckling right-hander, one of the 5 wisdom cricketers of the 20th century, held the record for fastest 100 of only 56 balls in tests for almost 40 years before Brendan McCullum broke the record in 2015. In 1976, Richards scored a whopping 1,710 runs at an average of 90 with 7 centuries from 11 tests. Richards had a good record in World Cups, scoring 1,013 runs at an average of 63.31. He guided West Indies to a World Cup win in 1979, making an unbeaten 138 of 157 balls against England in the final. In addition, he was the second highest run getter in the 1979 and 1983 editions of the showpiece event of the 20th century. At number 4, we have Brian Lara. Who was the toughest to bowl to? If you ask this question to premier bowlers of the 1990s and early 2000s, most bowlers would say it was Brian Lara. The elegant left-hander played pace and spin equally well. His 400 against England in 2004 is the highest individual score in tests. His 375 against England in 1994 is third on the list of highest individual scores in the longest format of the game. Lara was the only player who appeared twice in the list of ESPN Cricinfo's top 25 test batting performances of all time, with his 153 and 213 against Australia in 1999. At number 3, we have Ricky Ponting. Ricky Ponting is the biggest match winner with the bat for Australia in the modern era. The Aussies posted a mammoth 359 for 2 in the World Cup final against India in 2003 thanks to an excellent 140 by Ponting. The right-hander is the second highest run getter in tests, third highest run getter in ODIs and second highest run getter in World Cups. He also was the man of the match in the inaugural T20 International against New Zealand, scoring an unbeaten 98 in just 55 balls. At number 2, we have Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar is known as the god of cricket. He made his debut at age 16 against Pakistan and never looked back, amassing the most runs in both ODIs and tests. He has scored 100 international centuries, 29 more than the second best Ricky Ponting, and scored most runs in World Cups, that is 2,278 runs at an incredible average of 56.95. He played many memorable knocks and won many games single-handedly. He also experienced losing a number of games because of a lack of support from the other end. Tendulkar carried the hopes of millions every time he walked up to bat and didn't disappoint. He was the reason people made cricket a profession and many started watching cricket just to see him bat. It was no surprise that cricket viewership dipped in India after his retirement. At number 1, we have Don Bradman. Bradman is unarguably the greatest batsman of all time. His average of 99.94 in tests, which is 38.07 ahead of the next best Adam Vogers, is one record that is certain never to be broken. When Bradman went to bat for the final time, He needed to score only 4 runs to mark a phenomenal average of 100. But he was bowled by a googly of Eric Hollis. Still, Bradman's consistency and the ability to play long innings were unmatchable. He notched 12 200 plus scores and scored 600s in 6 consecutive matches in the 1937-38 season. The Australian legend also holds the record of most runs in a Test series as he scored 974 runs from 7 innings at an incredible average of 139.14 in the Ashes in 1930. Well, that's about the 10 best batsmen in the history of cricket. Do you agree with our list? Let us know about your thoughts in the comment section below. This is 85er signing out.